So today I want to talk to you about a simple strategy that you can do using sponsored messages. I've noticed that a lot of people are curious in how to use Messenger and how to leverage Messenger in your advertisements. And a lot of you have been asking how to use ManyChat. Typically, what I like to do and what we've seen work really well is using Messenger for actually your warm audiences and for retargeting. And particularly the sponsored messages features can work pretty well if you structure it correctly in your campaigns. Now, I won't take full credit for this. We've learned this strategy from Travis Stevenson, so I just want to give credit where credit's due. But I just want to show you, some ideas of how you can actually leverage sponsored messaging into your current advertising and how simple it can actually be, and how you can segment your audiences based on where they are in the funnel and actually have high, ROI on your actual messages that you send through, as opposed to cold directly to get an opt-in. Because I know for like currently, if you're using like the Messenger to get new leads and opt-ins, it does work. It's not a bad strategy, but you're still paying, maybe $2 to $3 for a Messenger reply, and then for someone to actually give you their email, and then you zap that back to your CRM. It's not as I haven't seen it personally work better than what we've been doing to get direct opt-ins for sub $5 leads. So that's just an idea there. If you're doing Messenger and it's working out well for you using ManyChat or using cold offering, like cold marketing for that, and that's awesome. I think it's still a viable opportunity, but I think that using messaging deeper in the funnel it's higher leverage and easier to implement just on the get-go. So I'm just going to show you a quick overview on how you can use sponsored messaging in your actual funnels. You get an ad that drives people. Let's say you're doing an e-commerce, or if you're doing it really depends what you're doing. It's really simple. If you're doing info product, a webinar, if you're doing a launch model, if you're doing a launch model, meaning that you have an opt-in page. People opt in to watch a 3 to 4 video training series where each day you drip out new content or new video, and they can get access to the day 2 video, and they get emails for that. Or if you're doing like an info product, traditional from opt-in to webinar, and then after they watch the webinar or VSL, they go to a sales page. So you can actually move people through any stage in the process, even e-commerce too. You can do this if you have, your e-commerce page, add to cart, or an upsell or cross-sell. But you can move people through the funnel with a series of messages, and you can essentially build on top of your current email marketing. So let's say, for example, we're doing the VSL. That takes people that you have to opt in, and you have to go on the VSL. And then once you go on the VSL or the webinar, you go to the sales page. And if you don't take action by a certain time, the price increases or something. So you can use email, obviously, to remarket to your audience in that way. But you can also use sponsored messages it's a highly targeted, very action-based, and very, it's I think like 95% open rates, really, for people to get that message in their Messenger inbox and either see your message and take action, or go to the next step in the funnel. So let's say, for example, first step here is to opt in and to watch the webinar. Let's say the webinar step 2, and then step 3 would be your sales page. Well, if you have people who opted in but didn't see step 2 within a certain time frame, let's say in the last day or so, you can say, hey, we actually have this training coming up. Here's a link for it, and then you direct them right on Messenger, just like you would on email, but directing them to the VSL or the webinar. Same thing if you're doing the launch model to the next day, the video that you're showing for the next dates, or when a new video opens up, you're just pushing them through so they take that action. The cool thing is that you're not spending that much money on sponsored messages. For example, you're not going to be spending, a high budget per day, because you're only sending a particular amount of messages depending on the actual people who hit that particular audience or fill that audience that you have. Now, I will tell you this, that the highest leverage sponsored messaging is on the actual sales page. Like if you open up a cart, or if you're doing the launch sequence, people can't get access to buy the product until a particular date. Or if you're the people who saw the webinar, you can go ahead and send them to the sales page after they saw the webinar in the last 7 days. They haven't seen the sales page, drive that message to the sales page last 3 days or 7 days, but drive them to that sales page, give them the incentive to buy now, and the real scarcity. And the cool thing is, again, you're doing this one-on-one Messenger marketing, and you're not you're sending a short message. You're not sending essays. You're not sending like a really long thing. You're just sending, hey, this is what we've got. This is what's going on. This is the offer. Here's how you can take action. This is the next step, and this is when it's going away. And it can be 5 sentences or less, really, because again, it's Messenger marketing. Again, you're targeting people who read messages on their phone. Typically, it's mostly people open it on their phone, but yeah, it's an easy way to really push people through through the marketing funnel, and it's building on top of email. So like your email marketing is not going to go away, right? Email marketing still remains quote unquote free, but with the messenger marketing, you're not. It's very low cost, very high leverage, meaning you can get more ROI out of a message sent to push people through because people maybe just need that one-on-one reminder from you anyways just to take action, or maybe they thought they were going to take action, they never checked their email because they got 1,001 email inbox, and it's not clean. They never checked that. They just need your reminder to push onto the next step in the funnel. I'm also going to link you out to this particular page, is how to create a sponsored message. Really, it's a simple setup. You would just use the messenger campaign objective, select sponsored message, and then in your actual ad section, you set the creative. If you want to do images, you can do images, but it can be plain text as well. Essentially, it's a one sentence, if possible, one or a couple sentences communication to your ideal market with the action that they need to take in a short, concise form so that they can receive the message and then to take the desired action. If you have any questions about sponsored messages or need help setting this up for your campaigns, please message me in the groups and we'll go, or just tag me in the groups actually, and then we'll go from there.